Like, how were you able just to say, I'm going to move to Sweden for 4 months? Okay, this doesn't work. So in today's video, I'm going to read an article from Business Insider that is entitled, I thought moving abroad was exactly what I needed. I ended up finding something even better in a small US city. Now, for those of you who do not know, I'm Sam from A Perry Life, and I'm a Black American that lives between Florence, Italy, and New York City. This particular article spoke to me because in the last few months, I have been seeing more and more Americans say they want to move abroad, and I have kind of questioned the reasoning for them moving abroad and the practicality of it. I feel there's a lot of Americans who do not understand the proper channels of immigration, which I have shared on my channel. Look for at least some of the videos about at least some of the difficulties of moving abroad and some of the hurdles that you do have to jump over. This article is said to be about 4 minutes. I'm going to read the article in itself, and then I'm going to just share some of my thoughts as we do read. So I'm hoping that this video in itself actually isn't too long. I wanted to be short and sweet. So it starts out with saying, we spent New Year's Eve wearing paper crowns at a cozy New England restaurant that felt like a living room. The owner stopped by our corner booth while he worked the room. Our friends who run their own bakery slipped away to say hi to some regulars. My husband leaned over and said, I love this. The year before, we had been wall to wall at a roller rink club in Brooklyn. Although we had a good time sitting in that small town restaurant, watching fireworks over the river felt like exactly where we were meant to be. There was no line, cover fee, or wild countdown. The night that often disappoints simply didn't. This wasn't where we thought we'd be on the last night of 2025. In June, we moved from New York to Sweden. Just 4 months later, we found ourselves leaving for Maine. Okay, so as you guys can see, it starts out with the new year ringing in, and they at the end state that they had up and left New York for Sweden and then ended up coming back in only 4 months. So that alone is actually really interesting because in 4 months, you need more than 4 months to figure out if you actually want to live somewhere. We thought Sweden would be our new home, but circumstances made it temporary. Moving to Sweden in June, I was following a simple idea. When things feel scary in America, the best course of action is to leave. For a while, it worked. Life felt gentler. We fell into a mellow rhythm, going to the beach, visiting the many well-maintained conservation areas, including some that go directly through cow pastures, and eating affordable, healthy food from the grocery store. Although Sweden delivered in real ways, staying required logistically planning and more time than we had. Leaving didn't feel like a failure, but choosing something more permanent. Back in the US, we weren't looking for another major metropolitan area, but real community. That search led us to a small Maine city just south of Portland, where some of our friends were already living. Friends helped us secure an apartment before we arrived. Now, I think they should have probably tried this beforehand. I think maybe Sweden was a little too maybe a country for them, maybe so. We'll find out when we read more. But I know my partner, he said once upon a time he wanted to move to the countryside, and he did for a little while, and he realized that it was a big fat no. Anyway, so the community here immediately felt unlike anywhere else. We had a rich community in New York, but our friends were more spread out around the city. As soon as we got to Maine, though, we realized we could walk almost anywhere, from our apartment to our friend's place, the pharmacy, a grocery store, and the river. As a result, our city feels like home. Now our friend's bakery isn't just a place to get delicious treats and coffee, it's where we run into or make friends in line and chat about how their winter is going. I've also seen the way Mainers, I didn't know they were called Mainers, Mainers support each other firsthand. I'm glad I have the community to live abroad, but I'm even happier that I landed in a small US city where people live year round and expect to see each other for decades. Happy that they found a place locally that could fulfill their needs. I'm interested in how they were able to even up and move to Sweden. Are they Swedish? That was not included. And I think that's something that needs to be actually like shared. Because a lot of people are not able to even make that gamble of moving abroad. And outside of the financial aspect of it, it's the legal immigration process of moving abroad that was not mentioned. Like, how were you able just to say, I'm going to move to Sweden for 4 months? Okay, this doesn't work. Like that right there, that kind of gets me. I'm happy that it's being spoken about looking in different places. I don't know if it was for finances, like, Sweden was, we had fresh fruit and all of this other stuff, but it was just super expensive. I really wish more of that had been like spoken about, because I feel like, what time of the year did they move to Sweden? If I'm going to be honest, was that mentioned? Because I feel like they went in the summer and then they didn't want to hang out in the moving to Sweden in June. Yeah, this article, there's so much missing, and them saying that they moved to Sweden during the best time of the year and then they came back to the States because things weren't working out. I don't know. But I'm happy that more people are I feel like people who read it will be very And it's written by the woman. Jennifer Henry is on Business Insider. I'll put the link in the description box so you guys can check it out. I think it's great that people are sharing this type of stuff. I just wish that they I really wish that they elaborated more from a situational standpoint of what exactly went wrong in Sweden. Was it just like a long summer vacation? Because that's what it feels like, what they've said. And I feel like there's more advice that could be given and still in the very short article that people can read it and take something from it. Because outside of two Americans who felt like they needed a long vacation, it seems like they needed a long vacation and they're covering it up with because of what's going on in America. I don't know. Now, as I read the headline as I'm going over it with you guys, it's kind of seeming like their situation might have been just kind of like a typical privilege that you see from certain people at times. How they were able to do what they did and what you need to do to prepare for something similar. Maybe they're both Swedish. That's something else. It's just like, oh, okay, they're both from the European Union. Yeah, I have questions, but I don't want this to be long. Comment down below what you guys think. And yeah, that's it. Ciao, ciao.